Big up everyone. The Liverpool Prophet back again. Big up to every single one of you in the building. Hope we are all doing well. Big up, big up, big up. Big up. Big up, lads. So what's the topic of today? What is the topic of today? So people, obviously you guys would have seen, well, it's kind of common knowledge now that Mohammed Salah is leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. So I wanted to come on and just talk a little bit about whether Liverpool can do the decent thing and actually send the club legend off in the correct manner. Because in years gone by, we've been unable to do that. Let's be honest, we've been unable to do it. So yeah, that is of course today's talking point. There's a bit of injury news as well. There's a bit of injury news regarding a Liverpool player for the national team, which isn't great. And again, it's something that I think we need to discuss and look into a bit. But yeah, big up to everyone, people. Big up to every single person in the building. Hope we are all doing well. Was there any international games on during the week as the week's gone on? Yeah, there was. Condolences to any Jamaican fans in the building. Any Jamaican fans in the building, condolences. I am a little bit upset that you guys didn't go through. Although, to be fair, I don't really have any affiliation to anyone when it comes to international games or an international club or nations, to say. Not really affiliated, don't really have a preference on who I'd want to win anything. But condolences to Jamaica. Condolences to the nation of Jamaica. Condolences to the fans, because I feel a lot of people probably wanted to see their nation go to the World Cup. And for a lot of people, they look forward to international tournaments because it provides them with some joy. It provides them with the hope that they can see their nation go to a World Cup and compete in a World Cup. A lot of other nations have done it before, and I always like it, to be fair. I love when an underdog nation performs well at a big tournament, Euros or World Cup, because for me, in my opinion, that then shows to me that it doesn't show to me nothing. It just, again, it's nice for their fans, let's be honest. It's incredibly nice for their fans, because let's be honest, some nations don't ever get to see their clubs going to the World Cups. They never get to see it. So it's nice. And I think Jamaica were kind of robbed of that honour. I'll be honest, I feel like they were kind of robbed of that honour to an extent. So condolences to any Jamaican fans in the building on last night's loss. Condolences. Better luck next time, should I say. Big up to Andre, man. Big up Andre, brother. Hope you are well. Big up yourself, man. Big up, big up, big up. Hope you are well, man. Big up. England also lost, people. England also lost to Japan. I mean, are people really still going to take the England national team serious at the World Cup? Come on. Let's be honest. Is anyone going to take them serious at the World Cup? Because I certainly aren't. I'm certainly not going to be taking them serious. Come on. Japan, people. You can't lose to Japan, in my opinion. If you want to win a World Cup, or if you want to show that you're a nation that wants to win a World Cup, you can't lose to Japan. You cannot lose to Japan. And speak of a legend himself, big up to AJ. Big up to my brother AJ. Hope you are well. Did someone order a mod? I did indeed. And you showed up. Big up, brother. Big up, AJ. Thank you. Appreciate you telling everyone to like the stream up. Big up, man. Big up. The channel's progressed well in the last couple of weeks. Only 2 subs away from 700 now. So it's really progressed in the correct manner. Thanks to everyone supporting. And I appreciate everyone in the chat. Because ultimately, the people in the chat are the heart and soul of a YouTube community. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, international break was dead. I don't see England doing anything this summer. Neither do I, AJ. Neither do I, bro. I say that about England when it comes to every tournament. I never expect them to do anything, because I always think, let's be honest, they have a track record of not doing anything for the last, how long? When was the last time they won that major honour? 66, was it? 66, 64? The last time they won the World Cup. They haven't got they are the they are, I don't want to sound rude, but they are losers. Let's be honest. The England national team are losers. They don't win. They don't know what it's like to win. They can all do so well for their respective clubs, but then when you bring them all together for the England national team, they just never seem to gel. And to be fair, a lot of people said the reason was Southgate. A lot of people said Southgate was them getting the best out of the team. But now you see Thomas Tuchel's coming. Thomas Tuchel, who is a lot more proven. I think he's a very good manager personally. You've seen him going to England, and even he seems to be struggling. Even he seems to be unable to do or create anything or create any sort of rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely an issue with England. It's been an issue with them for ages. Look at the managers they've had over the years. I'm sorry, they're shocking. Southgate, Hodgson, Allardyce, for like as short as it was, he was the England manager at that point. You need someone proper to manage a national team if you're serious about wanting your nation to win. I mean, Tuchel's probably the most serious appointment they've made in a good couple of years now, compared to the other options that I just named there. I think quarterfinals at best. England, I agree. To be fair, England should get out of the group. I don't know if you're an England supporter, AJ, so forgive me, but England should be able to get out of the group they're in because they haven't got anyone hard of note in their groups. Every time in the Euros, in the World Cup, England seem to get a relatively comfortable group. I'm not saying it's rigged. Don't bite my head off everyone, but it's becoming a theme now where everyone else seems to get one or two hard teams. They have an easy group every single time. Round of 16, relatively easy most of the time, bar Germany in the Euros a couple of years back. I don't want to sound weird, but it almost seems like everyone is trying their hardest to help them win something, and they're still not able to do it. Southgate should have won 2 of them. He should have won. I'd say the two. So you lost 2. Yeah. England lost 2 back-to-back Euros finals. The first one was Italy on penalties back in 2020, and then the other one was the recent one, Spain, 2-1. So to be fair, England probably should have won the one against Italy. That was the one that I think they fucked up in. The one against Italy at home, that's the one I think they should have won. Because they were 1-0 up, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure that Luke Shaw put England 1-0 up in that game. They really bottled that one. And what happened afterwards with the abuse was just completely unacceptable in my opinion. Big up to Dan, son, brother. Appreciate you being in. Hope you are well. Big up yourself, brother. I did have to switch the streams around, people. I was going to do a show with Indian Scouser where we rank the current Liverpool team, decide who's world class, who has the ability to be world class, etc. And we were going to rank Liverpool legends as well in terms of worst to best. But fortunately, he's unable to make it today. So this stream I was actually going to do tomorrow, and the stream that I've now scheduled for tomorrow, I was going to do today. So I've had to switch the streaming around, to be fair, people. I've had to, do what I was going to do tomorrow today and do what I was going to do today tomorrow. So yeah, if you are interested, people, any Liverpool supporters, if you are interested in seeing our ranking, do stop by tomorrow evening. So yeah, but back to the topic of hand. England were 1-0 up. It says it right here. Luke Shaw put England 1-0 up inside the first minute, pretty much, in that final. All you have to do really then is sit back, sit deep, and shut up shop, and England probably win that final. Even the one before this, England, let's be honest, did England have a good Euros campaign in 2024? Because I don't think they did. I think they winged their way to the final, personally. I'm going to look at England's fixtures now. England national team. I personally think that they winged it throughout that whole tournament because they were shocking in the group stage. And then they got, let's be honest, did they have anyone of note in the tournament to play? They had no one of note to play in that tournament. England national team, let's have a look. And they still managed to balls it up in the final. So let's have it. And they lost to Japan yesterday, by the way, people. Japan. I mean, come on. Losing to Japan is absolutely mental. No disrespect to Japan, of course. But, oh my God. Losing to the Japan. England are supposed to be one of the favourites for the World Cup, apparently. And they can't even beat Japan at Wembley. What a joke that is. Right, so here's England's route to the Euros last time around. Right, let's have a look then. Right, this is 2025. Don't want that. Here we go, October. Here we go. So, who did England play? So they start the They started the tournament off against Serbia, winning 1-0, but they were crap. Drew against Denmark. Drew against Slovenia. So they didn't do well in the group. They only won one game. Somehow advanced. Round of 16, they played Slovakia. Let's be honest, they were always going to win that game. They were always going to beat Slovakia. I'll bring this up on screen as well, people. Apologies. I thought I was share screening. My bad. I'm not share screening. Apologies. Yeah, look. You start off Serbia, not a good performance, but you win 1-0. Denmark, draw 1-1 against Denmark. To be fair, I think Denmark have got some decent players, so that's not a bad draw. But England should still be winning. Slovenia, you should be beating Slovenia, let's be honest. Round of 16, they play Slovakia. I mean, come on. Come on, man. Could you get an easier round of 16 game than that? Then they play Switzerland. Switzerland, to be fair, are a decent side. Switzerland and England have met each other quite a lot over the years, in recent years, should I say. Win on penalties. Beat Netherlands. Netherlands were, well, to be fair, Netherlands aren't exactly what they used to be either, so no surprise. And then ultimately, you fall up short in the final against Spain. Let's be honest. They do wing it. Let's be totally honest. They do wing it. Japan are unbeaten in their last 6 matches against European teams since 2019, by the way. England, Scotland, Germany twice, Croatia and Spain. So they are no joke. I'm not saying they're no joke, Sancho. That's not what I was saying at all. I never said once that they were a joke. I just said England, with the quality they have, should still be beating Japan. I'm saying. But I know Japan did beat Germany. I think it was in the last World Cup, actually, that happened. So, yeah. I've just created another tab by accident. Fuck's sake, man. Whatever. So, yeah, people. And then England's results. I'm not sure when Thomas Tuchel came into England. Was it late 2024? Was it late 2024? Early 2025? But yeah, since then, Ireland 2-0, Finland, Greece. Yeah, again, I'd love to see England up against an actual decent team like a Germany, or France, or Brazil. Like they always Latvia, Albania, Uruguay are decent, Serbia. And let's have a look at who England's World Cup campaign is again. I haven't seen the group, so Croatia, to be fair, you remember what happened back in 2018, people. We all remember vividly what happened back in 2018 when England met Croatia in the semi-finals. Ghana will be interesting. Panama also met England in the 2018 World Cup. I remember that one. So this is going to be a very, very interesting campaign, people. This World Cup is going to be very, very interesting, to say the least. Very, very interesting. I'll say that. Like I said, I've got my favourites for who I think will win it. But you never know, do you, people? You never know when it comes to the World Cup and international football. So yeah, I think what we've learned is England aren't great, and they're not going to be much of a threat at the World Cup. I think that's what we've learned. Does anyone really think Thomas Tuchel is going to last in that job? Because I certainly don't. I don't see a world where he lasts. I think they end up replacing him, or he walks. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a world where he lasts. Zidane is going to become the French national team manager, so that should be interesting when Zidane takes that job, because I do think he's very, very capable of getting the best out of that team. I genuinely do. I think with Didier Deschamps, is it, I believe his name, the current French manager, you have a manager who is kind of just relying on individual brilliance. But imagine you bring an actual young upcoming, Zidane's proven, but imagine you actually bring in a proper coach to coach the French national team. With the talent they have, they could be a problem. They could be a big, big problem, and they could dominate international football. Ancelotti at Brazil. I don't think Brazil have got the best squad nowadays compared to what they used to have a couple of years ago. I don't think they have the best squad. But when you have a manager like Carlo Ancelotti, who's done everything at club level, don't write them off. Do not write Brazil off, and certainly don't write a manager like Carlo Ancelotti off. He's done everything at multiple clubs, won leagues multiple times, won the Champions League multiple times. Now, of course, has taken the leap to international football and probably wants to add a World Cup to his trophy cabinet as well. Probably wants to add a World Cup to his trophy cabinet. So, don't write them off, is what I'll say. Do not write them off. Do not. Do not, people. Do not. But yeah, other than that, man, was any other international games on over the weekend? I don't think there was. I genuinely don't think there was any other international games on over the week. Not over the weekend, over the week, sorry. I'll have a look, but I doubt it. I'm saying. It's exactly why I don't like international breaks, I'll be honest. It's exactly why. Because they're boring. Let's just be honest. Quite frankly, they're boring. International friendlies that happened. Okay, so Mexico played Belgium. Interestingly, Mexico drew 1-1 against Belgium. I'm not sure what Mexico are like, to be fair, squad-wise. Belgium, I'm not sure what Belgium are like squad-wise either nowadays. Yeah, I'm having a look at Belgium's team now. They've proper fallen off. They are proper falling off from what they used to be. Back in 2018, they had a proper squad. They don't now. Perfect example of why you don't waste your the talent you have. You don't waste your golden generation. Brazil beat Croatia 3-1. So that's interesting. Brazil beat Croatia 3-1. Again, Brazil's squad isn't great, but when you've got a manager like Ancelotti, like I said, you can never write them off. And Argentina just battered I think is it Zambia? That's the name of the nation. They absolutely battered them 5-0. So Argentina look good. Argentina are looking like a good team. As expected, to be fair, when Messi's there, look, you've always got a chance of winning something when he's around, you know what I'm saying? And to be fair, let's be honest, I think Ronaldo is also going to the World Cup. Messi's also going. Wouldn't it be great if we could see a World Cup final of Portugal versus Argentina? Just for the neutral, just for the hell of it. Can you imagine Messi and Ronaldo stepping on the world stage for their countries? Messi for Argentina, Ronaldo for Portugal, and going at it. You know, I think again, people talk about GOAT this, GOAT that, Messi's better, Ronaldo's better. To be fair, for me, that debate was over after Argentina won the World Cup, I'll be honest. The whole GOAT debate, you know what I'm saying? I think that was done after they won the World Cup, Argentina. I think it's, in my opinion, it's not a debate. Messi's a better player than Ronaldo. A much better player, all-round player. But just to finally settle that debate, I'd love to see Portugal and Argentina in this year's World Cup final one last time. But who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows what will happen, genuinely? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice if Neymar could go to the World Cup as well. If Neymar could go to this World Cup, I think it increases Brazil's chances of doing something because, to me, let's be honest, Vinicius Jr., Igor Thiago, who else do they have going? With Charlison, come on, they can do with a Neymar in that squad. And Neymar would just take them up a level, let's be honest. I know he's at an age now where he's this, he's that. People say Neymar can't do this, Neymar can't do that. I think he can still do a job for Brazil. Granted, it will probably be, it would be his last one. He wouldn't be able to do another one after this. I personally think Brazil should just take Neymar to the World Cup and see what happens there. You know what I'm saying? See what happens there. But anyways, guys, we're moving on from the international thing. Let's talk a bit about Liverpool. Apologies, I'm very tired. I was meant to do this stream earlier, people, but I fell asleep for whatever reason, and I've just woken up about 25 minutes ago before the stream. So apologies for being all over the place. But yeah, let's talk about Liverpool. As you can see in the title there, everyone, that is the talking point of today's video. Can Liverpool send Mohammed Salah off on a high? Remains to be seen, right? Remains to be seen. Club legend, can Liverpool send him out the correct way? Because I personally am tired of club legends not being sent out in the right way. I'm going to be honest, I'm tired of it. You know, I remember Gerrard's last game for Liverpool, we got a 6-1 hiding at Stoke. Stoke City, people. 6-1 away at Stoke in Gerrard's final game. When I think of Steven Gerrard's final game for Liverpool, I have to remember a 6-1 against Stoke away from home. Is that the way to send off a legend? No. Roberto Firmino's last game, 2023, a 4-4 draw against Southampton, who were relegated at the time. He was another one that wasn't sent off in the correct way. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the history to repeat itself with Mo. I genuinely don't. You know what I'm saying? Gerrard, again, for me personally, I love Stevie G. I think his loyalty is unmatched. You'll never get a guy or a player as loyal as him again, in my opinion, in this lifetime. Especially for Liverpool, should I say. But I feel like he should have. I do feel like personally Gerrard should have moved at the time, because let's be honest, this has probably been our best period now. From 2018 to now has probably been Liverpool's most dominant period since the 80s. We were dead in the 90s, dead in the 2000s, by the Champions League win. Gerrard played in a team, in my opinion, that was very, very underwhelming. And as a club legend, I feel the least he deserved, in my opinion, was to play in a decent side. That's the least he deserved as a player. You know what I'm saying? Considering how much he gave to us, kind of feels like we didn't give him nothing back, if I'm being honest. I hope that makes sense too. But when a club legend just gives so much back to you, and then you don't give him nothing back, and you give him shit, basically. That's how I look at Gerrard and Liverpool's relationship. He gave so much to the club, and we gave him shit. We gave him shit in return. Played in some of the worst Liverpool teams. Let's be honest. The Liverpool teams Gerrard played in had the likes of Joe Allen in there, Skirtle in there. Look, granted, Skirtle this, Skirtle that. For me, he's not a club legend, but again, he's someone that I do respect a lot. Who else was in that team? Sacco, the likes of Sturridge, Ibe. Gerrard didn't get to play in what Virgil van Dijk, what Alisson Becker, what Mohammed Salah all have. Gerrard didn't have that. He didn't get to play in a team that was doing well and on top. He had to play in a team that basically was in the gutter, and he had to drag us through the trenches every single game. You know what I'm saying? So for me, he wasn't sent off in the correct way. He wasn't. I think had he done what he was supposed to do, had he made that move to Chelsea or Madrid, I feel he'd get spoken about in a lot higher terms. I personally feel Gerrard is incredibly disrespected by a lot of people. People will always use certain things against him. Like, oh, he slipped. Like, well, so what? Fucking the scumbag John Terry slipped against Chelsea. Well, playing for Chelsea in a Champions League final, taking a penalty. He slipped on his arse in a UCL final, cost his club. No one seems to remember Terry slipping, but everyone seems to remember vividly Steven Gerrard slipping. You know what I'm saying? That could have happened to anyone. That could have happened to any single player in our team. Genuinely. And it wasn't really on him. It was our problem in that game because we were unable to break down that Chelsea team and their low block. So it's not even on Gerrard that we lost that game. We were just unable to break them down after they went 1-0 up. So for me, that's bullshit when people say, oh, he slipped. That's such a weak argument to say he's not a legend. Another one, he didn't win a Prem. Let's be honest. I hear it, but to sit there and say Steven Gerrard was not a good... To watch Steven Gerrard on the screen and say he wasn't a good footballer is absolutely mental to me. It's mental. The excuses that people throw out to try and justify why he's not a Premier League legend and a Liverpool legend is mental. And it's the same thing with Mohammed Salah, man. It's the same thing with Mohammed Salah. I personally feel that a lot of Liverpool legends, especially in recent times, don't get the flowers they deserve. I don't think Mohammed Salah gets nowhere near as much praise as he deserves. I don't think Alisson Becker, in my opinion, gets anywhere near as much praise as he deserves. For me, he's one of the best goalkeepers. He's Liverpool's best ever goalkeeper, in my opinion. For me, he's one of the best of all time. Doesn't get the flowers he deserves because he makes incredibly hard saves look easy because his positioning is so good. I don't think VVD gets the praise he deserves. Mane, Firmino, they don't get the... I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but in my opinion, these players don't get the praise they deserve. You know what I'm saying? Gerrard's another one. He doesn't get the praise he deserves, which is why, in my opinion, I would have loved to see him go to a Madrid and won something there. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Chelsea. Didn't want him to go Chelsea, actually. Now that I think of it, I'd have loved to see him go to Real Madrid and win titles there. because then he would have had something to look back on in his career. Steven Gerrard will look back at his career. He'll have a Champions League, but he knows he won't have a Premier League medal because he never got to win one as a player. So for me, again, I'm in a lose-lose situation because when people ask me who my favourite Liverpool player is ever, when people ask me who I think is Liverpool's biggest legend, I'm in a lose-lose situation because whatever I say, rival fans will put me down on it. You know what I'm saying? If I say Steven Gerrard, Liverpool's greatest ever player, someone will turn around to me and say, oh, but he never won a league title, he slipped. You know what I'm saying? If I say Mohammed Salah is the best ever Liverpool player, they'll say, oh, he's not appealing on the eye. All he does is score goals. Either way, I'm in a lose-lose situation on who I pick, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, fuck the rivals, man. Fuck the rivals. So yeah, in Gerrard's last game, we lost 6-1 away at Stoke City. You must be thinking, Stoke City, who were known for playing low blocks every week, we went and lost 6-1 away to them. Yes, we did. In Stevie G's final game, we went and lost 6-1 away at Stoke. Which, for me, is just quite frankly pathetic, man. You know, we didn't give him the best. We didn't give him the best, in my opinion, on the pitch. The teams that he played in, like I said, were terrible. And then we served up that in his final game was just, for me, unforgivable. I've got to be honest, it was unforgivable. Couple years later, Sadio Mane is another one. I can't believe I forgot about Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane left Liverpool on the back of us losing the Champions League final to Real Madrid. He left Liverpool off the back of us losing that UCL final in 2022. Another legend who, in my opinion, wasn't sent off in the right way. That season, we missed out on a point in the league again to City. So we didn't win the league, didn't win the Champions League. Mane went out on a cup double, but it could have been so much more. It could have been so much more. There's another one, in my opinion, that didn't go out in the correct way. Granted, when you look at other players who have left legends and how they've gone out, I think Mane did pretty well going out on the back of an FA Cup win and a Carabao Cup win, but still could have been better because I am greedy, you know what I'm saying? Firmino's another one. You know, Roberto Firmino, for me, was always my favourite out of the three. Out of the three players, Mane, Salah and Firmino, Bobby was always my personal favourite, and he still is. You know, Bobby Firmino, in my opinion, is one of the most talented Liverpool players I've ever seen. He's one of the most talented Brazilian players I've ever seen. He's proved that the Brazilian flair does still exist out there. You know what I'm saying? Just an absolute genius playmaker. For me, he was the most important one in the front three, but I think people used to overlook him a lot because Mohamed Salah would get the goals, Sadio Mane would get the goals. But let's be honest, Firmino was the one who held both of them together. You know, he was the glue, the playmaker. Could play anywhere, could play in a 10, could play in a 9, and he just brought out a special type of player, in my opinion. A special type of player. You know, once in a lifetime do you get a player like Bobby Firmino, and I'm glad we had someone like him at Liverpool. Again, when he announced he was leaving, I was devastated. I was genuinely devastated. I've got a Firmino poster right there, looking at it now. You know, I was genuinely devastated when he left. And then we didn't even send him out in the correct manner. A trophyless season that year. He went out off the back of a trophyless season. We didn't win a league. We didn't win the Champions League. Didn't win anything. We missed out on top 4 as well. So we ended up playing Europa League football. Another player who just didn't get sent off the correct way. The final game he played was a 4-4 against relegated Southampton. 20th place Southampton, we drew 4-4 against. Firstly, going to a relegation level side who were relegated and conceding 4 goals in itself is a bad thing. Should never have happened. That's another one who didn't get sent off in the correct way, Roberto Firmino. And I'm tired of it, man. For me, still a chance to win Champions League, even 10% chance is a chance for Liverpool. Right, look, a chance is a chance. You can never say never, right? You can never say never. I just think it's unrealistic. Because even back a couple of years ago, you know, let's go back to 2019, for example. There was something about Liverpool. There was an aura about us that you could never write us off. You knew we'd give our all. You knew this team had something. We weren't just going to roll over. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that same fight in this team. I genuinely don't. I don't, man. And also, guys, we had Klopp back then. Apologies, people. I don't know what happened there. Apologies, everyone. Apologies. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is so annoying. If Liverpool qualify against PSG, then they simply eliminate second favourites and become second. And become second favourites behind Arsenal. You think Arsenal are favourites to win the Champions League, Ramchen? I've got to disagree. I don't think Arsenal are favourites to win the Champions League. I have to disagree on that. If we qualify against PSG, I'm sorry, I read that completely wrong. I'm sorry. I just woke up, man. You know, I'm planning on making this a short stream, an hour and 10 minutes max. But yeah, Liverpool qualify against PSG when they eliminate second favourites and become second favourites behind Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal are favourites to win it, though, in my opinion. I don't. I think for me, the two favourites to win the Champions League this year are Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are my personal favourites, and then Paris Saint-Germain because they're the current holders. Yeah, Arsenal. I think you'd probably put Arsenal as third favourites currently. Actually, no, you'd probably got to put Real Madrid as third favourites because of their heritage, and then you'd probably put Arsenal somewhere after that. Remember Istanbul 3-0 half-time, very weak team on paper against Shevchenko, Crespo, Nesta, Maldini. I do, Ramchen, but even then, that team had something about them. They might not have been the most talented. Let's be honest. That team was Alonso and Gerrard against a bunch of scrubs. You had Xabi Alonso, you had Steven Gerrard. Everyone else was very, very average, in my opinion. But even then, they might not have had the most talent, but they still had fight. They still had work rate. They still had determination. This team, I feel like if our backs are up against the wall, I don't think we have that same grit about us, that same fight. I look at this Liverpool team. For a long time, it's been a while since I felt like this, but it's a very un-Liverpool team, if you know what I'm saying. In terms of we lack the whole. Our identity is playing fast, attacking football, right? You know, we're a team known for pressing. We're a team known for never giving up. And all them traits, in my opinion, are lacking in this current team. They're just lacking. Bookies made out. Oh, did the bookies make Arsenal favourites? Okay. I don't know what the bookies are on about there. In my opinion, look, they're up there. I'm not saying they're not up there. They are, but I wouldn't have them outright favourites. That is crazy, considering they've never won the trophy before as well. But legend himself, big up tonight, Tom Kidd. Big up you, big up yourself, brother. Hope you are well. Big up, big up. Yeah, back to what I was saying about legends, people. They just don't get sent off in the correct way. It's been a long time since I said I looked at it and thought a legend got sent off correctly. Gerrard got slapped in his final game against Stoke. Firmino went out on a 4-4 draw against 20th place Southampton away from home. We can't do the same thing with Mo. We can't afford to do the same thing with Mo, in my opinion. He has to be sent out properly. I'm going to be livid if we send another legend out in the wrong manner, especially him. I'm going to be livid. I'm going to be fucking livid. What is it about Liverpool and sending legends off on the back of spankings in games? What is it? Oh, man. I swear down. Anyhow, we don't send Mo Salah off in the correct way. Oh, my God. That's why I'm very adamant now. I want to see us win a trophy. An FA Cup, yes, is nice. And that, yes, it's a trophy. But it's not something big. I want to see us win something big, in my opinion. I want to see that Champions. The league's out of question, unfortunately. We fucked that up. So, can we win the Champions League is the question. Can we go all out there and win the Champions League? Because for me, I don't think we will personally. I don't think we will win the Champions League. But I'm going to say our performances have looked a lot better in the Champions League. We look a lot more up for Champions League games, which is a positive. All bookies have Arsenal favourites, so funny. Second, Bayern. Barcelona third. Paris Saint-Germain fourth. I don't agree with that list at all. I genuinely don't agree with that list at all. Bayern, I think Bayern should be first favourites. Then Paris Saint-Germain. Then I'd have Real Madrid personally. Then maybe after that Arsenal or Barcelona. And then us maybe after. But yeah, that list is crazy, man. If Salah wants to go on high, it will depend on his own left foot. It all depends on him, bro. He's gonna have to put the work rate in as well. The team can only do so much. He's gonna have to step up as well. Never say never, man. Never say never. I don't think we will either, to be fair. So, but you never know, innit? But yeah, FA Cup's nice, but I would like to see us ideally win number 7. I would, man. Just to send the man off how he deserves, Again, I look at Gerrard and I look at Salah and I see 2 players there that gave their all for Liverpool down the years. They gave their all for us. Unfortunately for Stevie G, he never played in a team that he could really show his qualities in. Even then, in poor Liverpool sides, he was still able to look brilliant. He was still able to look absolutely world class and brilliant. Salah was lucky enough to play in a better Liverpool team. Well, in a much better Liverpool team, actually, because we won so much with him here. But they're 2 players, in my opinion, who they gave everything for the club. Mohammed Salah easily could have left Liverpool. Let's be honest. Did anyone really think he was going to stay here for 9+ years? Did anyone really think that he was going to be a Liverpool player from 2017 till 2026? Currently is 9 years. I didn't think so. I'm saying I genuinely thought he had another chapter in his career at one point. His first season for us was brilliant. I thought someone was going to come get him. I'm saying even after that, I was convinced someone would come and get him. I never saw him being out with a nighttime kid. I'm tired, bro. I can't be doing rage bait today. I'm sorry, I can't be doing no rage bait. I can't be doing rage bait. I'm too tired for that shit today, man. I genuinely am. But yeah, now I've lost my train of thought as well. What was I thinking? What was I saying? Yeah, there we go. It's come back to me. I never thought Mo would spend his whole career at Liverpool. Well, most of his career. When we had the front 3 of Mane, Salah and Firmino, I was 95% sure that the first one to get sold would be Salah. I'll be honest. I was sure he would be the first one to get sold. I thought he'd be... personally, I thought he was Madrid bound. I genuinely thought he was Madrid bound at some point in his career. I thought he was going to go to Real Madrid. So the fact that... And I'm not the only one who felt this, by the way. A lot of people felt that Mo Salah would be the first Liverpool... Well, the first out of that front 3 that would get sold. A lot of people felt that. We all felt that Firmino would stay. We all felt that Sadio would stay. Everyone thought Mo would move on. He'd be the first one. And the fact that he's the last one standing it's very, very surreal for me. The fact that Mane left first, I didn't expect Sadio to be the first one. The fact that Bobby left, and the fact that Salah stayed, the fact that Mo stayed, shows that loyalty still exists in the game. It genuinely does. It genuinely does. Listen, bro, Liverpool being Liverpool on their day in Anfield, in Europe, jokes apart, they can beat anyone. Remember, we're getting better in these setbacks, so why not? Yes, Ramchan, I agree. On our day, we can beat anyone. We have a very talented squad. If we decide to turn it on, of course we can beat anyone on our day. Of course we can. The problem is, are we going to be able to be motivated and get up for it? I'm saying, I don't know where you heard that, Bob, but that's BS. That is BS. Look, on our day, we can beat anyone, of course. I'm saying Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich. If we're on it on a Champions League night at Anfield, we can do it. We can. We've seen it in the past, man. Who thought we were going to come back against Barcelona after we were 3-0 down? Who thought we were going to lock up the likes of Messi and Suarez at Anfield with no Mo in the game, with no Firmino in the game? Who thought we were going to do that? And we did that. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of injuries too. So look, never say never. I just think it's unrealistic. Personally, I feel like the manager's an issue because look, the manager ultimately is going to set the team out there. He's going to set the team up. He's going to send us out there, and he's going to give us instructions on how to play. And do you trust him to pick the right teams or the right team in this Champions League game coming up? I don't. I'm going to be honest. I genuinely don't. I think it's very likely that he fucks up with team selection because of his bias against certain players. There's certain people that I think should be in the starting 11. There's certain people I think should be in the starting 11 that aren't. And I worry. I genuinely worry, man. But if we can get let's say hypothetically we can get past Paris Saint-Germain, round 10. Let's say I'm on your train, for example, yeah. Let's say we do get past them and we get to the quarterfinals. No, what am I about? And we get to the semi-finals, sorry. We're gonna play Bayern Munich in the semi-finals. So we can potentially we could wing our way past Paris Saint-Germain. But Lightning won't strike in the same place twice. Are we really going to beat Bayern in a semi-final over 2 legs? With the way they are, for me, they're the best team in Europe at the moment, in the world. Are we really going to do that? I doubt it. I genuinely doubt it. The final is in Hungary. Guess who wants to be there? Are you talking about Szoboszlai, yeah? Szoboszlai and Kerkez. If Liverpool reach the final, great support from the Hungarians for Liverpool. Yes, big up to the Hungarian fans. Hungarian Liverpool fans, should I say? Because I'm sure there's a lot over there because of obviously Szoboszlai playing for us and Kerkez too. I'm sure there's quite a bit of support in Hungary for Liverpool. But yeah, the final is in is it in Budapest, if I'm correct? Budapest, I believe the final is this year, Hungary. So yeah, maybe, just maybe, man. Just maybe. Never say never, but again, I feel like we have to be realistic as well. I do feel like we have to be realistic in it. I just feel like there's teams playing in the Champions League currently that, for me, are just their levels above us currently, playing style-wise and manager-wise. I think Bayern Munich have a much better coach than us, and they're playing much better football than us. Same with Paris Saint-Germain, much better coach than us, playing better football than us. Even Barcelona, much better coach than us, playing better football than us. Even who else is there that I've forgotten? Yeah, look, I'd love to sit here and say we can win the Champions League. Last season, I could have sat here and said that confidently. I can't now. You know, a year can make a big difference. A big, big difference. It is in Budapest, yeah. Yeah, Budapest. Interesting. But first thing is first, we have to get past Paris. And getting past Paris, should I say, is not going to be a easy task. It's certainly not. Like I said, they had a bit of a, dare I say, crap start to the season, but recently they've kicked it up again. They're looking good in their league again, and yeah, let's be honest. This is around the time that they came good last year as well. They slapped up Chelsea in the last round, absolutely dog walked Chelsea, should I say, over 2 legs, 5-2, 3-0, 8-2 on aggregate, slapped them up. So PSG are no mugs. They're no mugs. It's just a case for Liverpool. It's just a case of concentration and motivation. Our squad, same level on paper as all of them even. But yes, Ramsey, I agree with that. On paper, our squad is, I'd argue our squad's better than all their squads on paper. I genuinely would. I think we have a better squad than Barcelona on paper. I think we have a better squad than Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern. Problem is, the coaching is crap at our club. Well, in our team, should I say, the coaching is very, very poor and not good enough. That's the issue, in my opinion. And again, concentration and motivation. In a Champions League game for 90 minutes, you have to be focused. You have to be switched on. You know, we have to be motivated too. So whatever Slott's going to do to motivate us for the Champions League, it has to work. I think Jurgen was perfect for these games. Jurgen just knew the correct things to say and do to motivate Liverpool players, not just for Champions League games, for league games, for everything. Slott's got a big. Look. We know that he's getting potted unless he wins the Champions League. We know this. We know that he's going to be relieved of his duties as the Liverpool manager if he doesn't win this competition. So a lot is on him. He's got a lot of pressure on him as well, and he's going to want to win this. And I hope I should hope he wants to win this. I should hope. And yeah, I agree with you, bro. I think it's possible we can do it, but I think realistically, I just don't think this Liverpool team has the balls, if I'm being honest. I don't think we have the balls. I don't think we have the courage. I don't think we have we just don't have that aura about us this season. We don't have that aura that we used to have back in 2018 when we won it. 2019, sorry. You know, we don't have the manager that I think can take us there and win it. I genuinely don't. So I do think, unfortunately, the PSG game will be where our UCL journey comes to an end. And it could be for a while because we might not even get top 5 in the league. We might not even get top 5 in the league the way things are going. So it's not great. It's not great. We come back on Saturday against City away. City away in the cup. Probably going to lose that. Then go into the first leg against Paris Saint-Germain away from home. Again, most likely going to lose that. We then play Fulham at home on the weekend. Fulham at home is not an easy game. It's not a walk in the park. They're a team that like to play. They're a team that have beaten us before and caused upsets against big clubs. Then you go into the second leg against Paris Saint-Germain. So this next week is going to be that Fulham game being in between both Paris Saint-Germain legs. The fact that we can't rotate either because we need the points in the league for top 5. For the top 5 races. No, it's not good, man. It's not good. It's not good. But yeah, guys, some news came out regarding Liverpool today. I want to get you guys' opinions on this. And again, it's just more stuff that's angered me, to be honest with you. More stuff that has angered me. And of course, look, I'm not angry at the player because it happens in it, but it's just more bad news for us because now, as you can see right here, people, as you can see right here, if I just zoom out a bit. So, people, anything Liverpool reported this today, I did a sort on it as well, so do check the sort out if you can. So, breaking news, Jeremy Frimpong came off for the Netherlands and was forced off due to injury 10 minutes later. So he came off, went back on, and then was forced off by the manager because he couldn't continue. Looks like it could be yet another spell on the sidelines for the Liverpool right back. There's a picture of Frimpong. So guys, Frimpong is injured yet again. By the looks of it, he is injured yet again. This is not good. It's not good, man. Especially when we're coming into a crucial part of the period. A crucial part of the season, should I say. We're now coming into the business end of running of the season. And we're going to go into it by the looks of it with no fit right back in such pivotal games coming up. We'll write an urgent letter to Slot to advise him to let Klopp speak on loudspeaker to all players before the PSG game. That could work, Ramchen. That's actually not a bad idea. Get Klopp on the speakers, man. We'll get him on a call and then, connect the call to the speakers and then just let him do the team talk, innit? Slot, just sit in the corner, mate. Jurgen will take it over from here. Not a bad idea, to be fair, brother. Not a bad idea, to be fair. Because for me, it's obvious that Slot isn't the best motivational speaker. It's very obvious, in my opinion, that he's not the best motivational speaker. He doesn't really know how to be a man manager. So, again, and that's what people said Johnny Heitinger was very good at. Johnny Heitinger, Slot's assistant from last season, was apparently a very good people's person. You know what I'm saying? He was very good at, being a man manager, or should I say, a man manager assistant. Now that he's gone, I think it's been exposed that Slot really isn't a good motivational speaker. He's not the type of manager who will put his arm around you and say, listen, this, that. He's not. He's clearly the distant type. He's clearly the type that likes to be more tactical. No emotion is a problem. You're at Liverpool Football Club. You need to be passionate. You need to be showing fight. And I was speaking to someone in the gym about this earlier today, and they said the same thing. The passion is missing at Liverpool. Klopp on the sideline, it was like he was still playing. Let's be honest. It was like he was a player, the way he used to act. We need that back. Slot shows us nothing, man. He gave us a little cameo against Galatasaray, a little watered down version of what Klopp used to do. But ultimately, we need to see more for the remainder of his time here, which isn't going to be long. It's only 7 games now. Show us something before you head off. Oh, man. But yeah, man, that would be a good idea. But back to this news here, people. So Frimpong's out injured again. I feel bad for the guy. I genuinely feel bad for the guy because this is a player who, at Leverkusen under Xabi Alonso, became a player that was talked about in Europe quite a lot. Never got injured at Leverkusen. Frimpong was 99% of the time available for via Leverkusen in games. He's come to Liverpool, and this is now his 4th injury that he's picking up. This is the 4th one now he's had, which will now most likely probably take him out towards the end of the season. Maybe he'll feature in maybe the last couple of games, but when you've got Connor Bradley, who's already out because of what happened against Arsenal away, and now you've got Frimpong also out, there's no fit right backs again. And this isn't the first time this season where we've had no fit available right backs. No one to play right back, which is, for me, just not it. And this is where I do say we miss Trent. This is, as much as I don't like to admit it because I don't like him, this is where I do think we miss Trent, because as much as Trent is a rat and he can fuck himself, he was very reliable. Trent hardly ever got injured. He hardly ever picked up a knock. He was most of the time available for Liverpool, so he could play right back. Now Trent's gone. We bought Frimpong in and Bradley. And by the looks of it, both of them are injury prone from what we're seeing. They're both injury prone right backs because Bradley picks up injuries hit and miss. He's been doing that since he came through to the first team. Frimpong's just joined. He's picking up injuries. And usually when a player's doing this, it's something that continues for the next couple of seasons as long as they're here. So I think, and don't get me wrong, both of these right backs are class. In my opinion, Frimpong is a class right back. Again, if he can stay fit, he can improve so much. Connor Bradley, with his age, very young right back, can also improve. I think he's a very good right back. So they're both very good options. And I think we have two very solid right back options. The issue is they're injury prone. They are injury prone, and that's the problem. So this begs the question then, do we now have to go into the market in the summer and get a right back as well? Because I think it's a question to be asked. Look, I don't think he's a very good coach, but he's a very good speaker, and that kicks you before and during the match. Klopp. Yeah, I think he's a good coach, Ramchen. I think he's proved that at Burnley, he looked a bit suspect, but I think now at Bayern Munich, he's proven himself to be a relatively good coach. So I do think he's a very good coach that's on the up, and I think he ends up at City soon. We had bad luck with players who are often injured. They rarely are fit. Frimpong, Gomez, Bradley, cannot count on them as guarantees. Gomez, yeah, you can't. Frimpong's also joined the list where you can't really count on him. Bradley, he's been hit and miss since he came through. Gomez hit and miss his whole career really at Liverpool. Frimpong's now joined is the same. Like I said, him and Bradley are both very good right back options in my opinion. They're both very good options to have, and I'm glad we have them. But they can't stay fit. If one's injured, if one's fit, the other's injured. When the other comes back, the other gets injured. It's just, again, going around in a cycle. Frimpong will come back. Bradley will be out injured. Bradley will come back. Frimpong will go out injured. And you remember in January, early January, late December, we didn't have a right back. Both of them were out injured at the same time, and we had to play Szoboszlai there, Jones there. We can't afford that again, and now we're in a position where we are having to do that. So who's going to play right back now for the upcoming games, which are very important to us? Who's going to play right back against City, Paris Saint-Germain, Fulham, and then second leg Paris Saint-Germain? It's going to be Szoboszlai again, isn't it? We're going to play Szoboszlai at right back by the looks of it, which I don't like. I think he does well there. He does a job there. But I don't want to see him as the right back. I want to see him in midfield, playing further up the pitch where he drives. And now we're going to have to shoehorn him in against Paris Saint-Germain and City at the weekend. Oh my God, what can you even say, people? What can you even say? This is something that we need to address in the summer. I'm sorry, we have to address this. So I think we do need to bring in a right back who, in my opinion, is someone who can play week in, week out without picking up knocks. Someone like what Trent was. Unless Frimpong can do a madness in the summer and get rid of his injuries, we need to. And this is crazy that we've got two right backs and we're thinking about bringing in a third one. But they're both injury prone. You can't rely on them. You can't rely on either, which is really disappointing in my opinion. Very, very disappointing. And yeah, Ramchen, you can't count on any of those players. Frimpong, Bradley, and Gomez. You can't. So that's another situation that we'll have to keep a close eye on in the summer. In my opinion, we'll have to keep a close eye on that. This is something interesting that popped up earlier today. And I wanted to get your guys' opinions on this before we head off. I'm going to make it a short stream, like I said, people. It's almost been an hour, which is mad. Yeah, big up to everyone who's locked in so far, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone who's locked in so far. Apologies, I've not been at my best today. Apologies, but yeah, big up to you all. So yeah, before I do share screen the other thing, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you think we should probably go get another right back in the summer? Big up to my brother Rasta, man. Big up to Rasta. Another one of my brothers. Make sure you show up to my brother Rasta as well. Big up yourself, brother. Big up, big up. Do I believe? Believe in what, bro? Believe in what? Do you think if Liverpool win the FA? Yeah, he has to stay, Ramton, if he wins both of them. Let's be honest, he has to stay. If he wins both of them. On the road. No, I appreciate you stopping in, bro, and dropping, being in the chat, even though you're on the road. Big up, Ryan, man. Big up yourself, Ryan. Appreciate you being in the building, man. Big up, big up, big up. So before I head off, people, because I'm knackered, man, I woke up about 10 minutes before I started the stream up. Big up to Profit. Big up, Ramchen. Appreciate you being in, brother. Who would you like Liverpool to bring in at right back? That's the thing. I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. Ryan. I think you've got Frimpong and Bradley there, but because they're both injury prone, in my opinion, we also need another one. Who could we look at bringing in? That's something I think the club have to do. The sporting directors are going to have to sort out. Because it's a problem. It's an issue at the moment. There's Rasta's link, people. I've just popped it in the chat, so make sure you sub to my brother Rasta. Nico Williams, potential answer, yes. I hear that. I do hear that, people. Nico Williams, yes. A potential option. Yeah, before I do head off, people. Kirana Shabe is a good one for Booze. Watched a good amount of him this season. Been impressed. I'll have to I was gonna say you can send me the highlights of him, but we don't have each other added on TikTok or anything, mate. So I'll have to have a look at that later. But yeah, I'll keep this name in mind. I'll have a look at some highlights. Big up, Ryan. Appreciate that. So yeah, this is something regarding what happens with life after Salah on the right wing. So Transfer News Deadline have reported that Liverpool are hatching a plan for a post-Salah world where they will have the option of playing a 4-2-2-2 with Isak and Ekitike paired together up front. Florian Wirtz and Dominic Szoboszlai would operate behind them in front of the two deep-lying midfielders, meaning the width would come from the fullbacks. One of Arne Slot's priorities. Well, let's be honest, Arne Slot's not going to... What is the point of putting this in when you know he's not going to be the manager next season? It's some stupid behaviour, man, I swear down. So this is how apparently Liverpool want to line up. So you want to play the two tens in Wirtz and Szoboszlai behind the two strikers, Ekitike and Isak. So this is a big change, people. I'm going to be honest, a big change. They've got a fair few good players, mate. Liverpool linked with Joel Ordens. Yeah, I remember that, Ryan, yeah. I remember that. But this is going to be a very big change, people. Look, we've gone from being a team that primarily used to play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 to now, next season, probably going to be transitioning to a 3 at the back. Which I think is the correct decision because I think it's what's best for our team and players. But this is a bit odd. So, obviously, the two tens in Wirtz and Szoboszlai, I think these two could really cook. If they're going to play them together as two tens, boy, we can get some joy out of both of them. Ekitike and Isak up top as two strikers. Ooh, I won't say no to that. I genuinely won't. So, life after Salah, by the looks of it, it looks like we're not going to be playing with wingers no more. So that kind of sucks for Gakpo and Chiesa and them lot. But it does look like we're transitioning away from playing as with wingers to now playing with a two-striker formation. What do you think of Coyote from Brentford as an option? Again, it looks decent, Ryan, but can you make the step up from Brentford to Liverpool is the big question, right? To be fair, Ryan, Xabi Alonso doesn't really play with wing backs. No, not wing backs, wingers. I think he played 2 strikers at Leverkusen. He doesn't play with wingers really. You can do a 3-4-3 potentially, where you do have wingers. He can do a 4-2-3-1, so he can be adaptable. But I don't see us being a team that is going to play with wingers next season. I think primarily we'll probably be playing with 2 strikers, so we can get the ball. I think it's the best thing because we've got 2 very good strikers here in Isak and Ekitike. 2 very good strikers, in my opinion, and I'm sure you guys will agree. I don't want it to be where one's on the bench and the other's just playing, because we're wasting the talent of one or the other. So if Ekitike is playing, Isak's being wasted on the bench. If Isak's playing, Ekitike is being wasted on the bench. We're going to have to find a formation, in my opinion, next season where we can get both of these 2 into the team. Now, Ekitike can play on he can play off the left wing. So if the manager still wants to play with wingers, if he still wants to do a 3-4-3 or a 4-2-3-1, Ekitike can play off the left. Yeah, he's done it before, so that could be a possibility, playing him off the left. Or, to be fair, if you want to get them both in the team, the best thing to do would be to play 2 strikers up top. Play a formation where we play with 2 strikers, and that means, unfortunately, no wingers. So, what happens to Gakpo and Chiesa then? And Rio? Fuck knows. So, that could cause an issue, but we brought these 2 strikers in. When we brought these 2 strikers in, we knew something like this was probably going to happen, where we'd be in a position where we need to play them both. And now we're going to have to do that next season, in my opinion. Play them as a 2. And to be fair, the service they get is crazy because Wes can create like a monster. So Boslar can create after monster. He can even score. So these 2, supplying these 2. Ooh. Excitement. It's the Wirtz and Soboslai floating balls into Ekitike and Isak, feeding them both up top. That's something that I look forward to potentially. Yeah, Ryan, we bought 2 very good strikers. You have to play both of them for me, in a formation that gets the best out of them both. I don't think you can play one or the other because the other one is just getting wasted. And the last thing you want is for an Isak to get discontent and want to move because he's not getting game time, or for Ekitike to get discontent and want to move. So in my opinion, it's the best thing. Big up Bus Baptiste, bro. Big up Profit. I've heard we are going to lose up to another 6 players at the end of the season. Most of them wingers, so I think we are going back to a 4-4-2. Bus Baptiste, can I ask, are you a Liverpool fan, mate? I think you are a Liverpool fan, but I'm just making sure. So that could be interesting. If you are talking about Liverpool losing another 6 players, going to a 4-4-2 is very interesting. Frimpong made of glass. He can't stay fit for 2 games. I wouldn't say that died for Liverpool. He's had a relatively good run since he came back from injuries. But yeah, he's injury prone. And for me, died for Liverpool. I said it before you came in. That's a position that we need to look at strengthening in the market. We need to probably go out and get another right back because Frimpong's injury prone. So is Bradley. And we can't rely on either. Nice, Baptiste, bro. Nice. So we could lose another 6 players. Which 6 players are you talking about? Because Mo's definitely gone. Which other 6 players are you on about? But I do think we'll go to a formation where primarily we'll play a 2 up top. That's what I do think happens. I think Jada Dance will be a bench player. I agree, Bush Baptiste. I think that kid's got potential. He had a lot of potential in Klopp's final year. Klopp brought him through. Slot hasn't given the kid a sniff. He hasn't. So yeah, this will be interesting. These 2 10s, feeding those 2 number 9s, could cause chaos, definitely. And that's life post Mohammed Salah. It will open the door. Mohammed Salah's departure will open the door to a new style of play for Liverpool, should I say, a new formation. You know, with him gone, primarily he's our main goal scorer. You lose him, Isak is going to have to make up for numbers because for me, you look at the finishes we have, Isak's probably the most clinical one now with Mo gone. He's got a big job next season to make up for them numbers, a big job. And we'll really see what he's made of now. Can he deal with the pressure of stepping into Salah's boots or not? I don't want this type of wing back at our club like Balde, Davies, Finn, but they always get injured. Yeah, I hear it. Die for Liverpool. I do hear it, bro. I hear it. I think both of them are good. I think Frimpong is a good player, personally. I just hope he can get past his injuries. Because he never picked him up at Leverkusen. He never picked them up at Leverkusen. And all of a sudden now at Liverpool he's picked up 4, which is annoying. It's annoying. Big up to everyone who's liked AJ. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, bro. Big up, big up. But yeah, let's send Mohammed Salah off in the correct manner. We let Gerrard go in the wrong manner. A 6-1 hiding against Stoke. We let Firmino go off in a bad manner. A 4-4 draw against Southampton. Relegated Southampton a trophyless season. We didn't send Mane off in the best way. Lost the Champions League final. Can we send Mo off in the correct way? Can we finally send our legend in the way off that he deserves? Can we do it? Because he deserves. Look at what Mohamed Salah has done for us down the years. So much, and I love the guy to pieces. But I won't be able to take it if another legend goes out in the incorrect manner. I won't be able to take it, man. The only difference between PSG and the rest of the big clubs is they're lucky to have Hakimi and Mendes because they don't get into. That's why they can perform top level. Yes, die for Liverpool. I agree. We have to get a coach who works with 2 strikers perfectly. I agree, Ramchin. Someone who works with 2 strikers and can get the best out of both Ekitike and Isak. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. But big up to everyone. Like I said, I had to switch the streams around. I was going to do a collab with Indian Scouts today where we ranked Liverpool legends, best to worst, and we also ranked our squad in terms of who we think is world class and who has potential to be. Had to push that back because of an emergency on his end. So yeah, tomorrow, people, that collab will take place. So me and Indian Scouts will be ranking the current Liverpool team in terms of who he thinks is world class, who he thinks is very good, who's not good enough, and who's average. And it will also be ranking Liverpool legends as well. So stay tuned, people. That'll be tomorrow evening. But other than that, I'm going to head off. It's been a great blast, man. It's been a great blast. Appreciate every single one of you in the chat. Mark my words, Liverpool eliminate PSG. That will kick our season in Europe. Fingers crossed, Ramchin. Fingers crossed, bro. Before I head off then, wild call. Actually, there's one more comment. When every team in the league has 2 strikers, that means so much more goals for the league, and that makes defenders work harder. It makes for a better game. I agree, Baptiste. I agree, Bus Baptiste. But yeah, before I head off, people, big up to Bus Baptiste, big up to Ramchin, big up to AJ, big up to Die for Liverpool, big up to Ryan. Who else was in there, man? Big up to my brother Rasta. Make sure you are subbing to Rasta. Big up to Nighttime Kid. And big up to Andre as well. Big up to every single one of you. Big up to you all, man. Appreciate you in. Good night, brother. Take care. Big up you all. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned. Liverpool Prophet out. Peace. Up the Reds. Let's go.